But recently, that fan base has become a lot more concerned.
This last video that she posted has
I'm like deeply not confused at what I'm watching. I'm just confused at like the worlds and like the issues around this. Anyway, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Were you gonna start to say something?
No,
go ahead.
I was just like, this is a lot of like the commentary by both in the communities that are her viewership, as well as even on the LovelyTi channel or whatnot. It was like the drama is like about the video, the volume of posting. It's like a public breakdown. That's the narrative. Like it's like a mental health that is basic. Whether it's an episode or just is on display.
Yeah.
And but I'm looking at it from a bird's eye view and thinking to myself, like, this is someone who has built a life being on social media channels. Like, what is the problem with having videos that are in the millions or posting volumes?
What you missed was, it wasn't just that. There were police incidents where police were called to her home on a couple different occasions, I believe. And there was also a situation, I don't know if it was, anyway, there was a stranger that she invited into her home who went on TikTok and was like, I'm in Gabbie Hanna's house. He asked to use her washroom and then ended up going on his TikTok and saying, I'm in her house, and trying to like show her and things that she's doing and pretended that he didn't know her. And at one point on the video, she's like, you pretended that you didn't know who I was. And she's like, get out of my house. And he's trying to show a bottle of pills and saying, what's this on camera? He's trying to exploit her. Because what he says in his videos after is that he went on his TikTok, which I believe he did all that for his own clout. He wanted to whatever, but he was saying, I was watching her videos and she was posting these concerning videos and I was concerned, so somebody had to check in on her, was his narrative. Because people were coming for him.
Stranger.
Yeah, but so a lot of really strange things were happening. Okay. It wasn't just filming, talking. So that's the part that you missed. We didn't get there in the video.
Okay, I guess I go back to kind of like the Britney Spears. There's a lot of parallels that I'm drawing about the kind of the twisted, like us as consumers, like we are you see the views of all of her TikTok videos and they're like, these videos are gaining millions of views. And it's like, well, we are so hungry to consume the whether perceived or actual spiraling of someone, and to create our own narratives that become self-fulfilling for these individuals. Because if you tell someone you're acting crazy, or like you use this language that is suggestive of someone, or just you're in a downward spiral, it's like I would believe that over time, and I would think that, well, look, what is wrong with me? And like we carry both the gas, the match, and like we are selling tickets to the show.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we fault the person for being in the states that they're. It's just like, y'all, like, find something better to do with your time than just create this like toxic situation for someone. It really bothers me.
Yeah, it's a really sad situation because like, you kind of touched on it a little bit, how like we as consumers, if you notice, a lot of the hot topics about videos are when people are like failing, unwell.
Yeah.
And it's really sickening to see that people will talk about things and like attack people when they're unwell. They're not going to rise somebody up because they're doing great things and they're great people. You don't hear about those things, but you will hear about someone who is fucked up. You will hear about someone who is sick. You will hear about someone who has done terrible things. Like it's like we crave the negativity. And it's really,
we want to bring them down.
Yeah, and it's really sad. And like, then there are some people who have been saying that Gabbie Hanna has done this as a publicity stunt because she is releasing an album. Now, mental health is a very serious topic. It's a serious thing that I'm glad that is kind of being spoken about more frequently, because people really tend to just like shove it to the side and just like, oh, well, they're celebrities, they deserve it. And it's like, because they are on this platform, you deserve all of the bad things that happen to you. And it's like, no, that's not the case. Like, we're all humans just like you. So what makes me so different from you of deserving all of those negative things and those bad things that happen to us? So if it is the case where it is a publicity stunt, that is very disheartening, because mental health is such a serious thing, and people, unfortunately do, sad things when they're going through things like that.
It's real for a lot of people.
It's real, yeah. So
hope that someone's not just making light of it.
Correct. But again, that's another reason why people are thinking that it is a publicity stunt, because some influencers period, will use that bait to reel in viewership, and then when they have their viewership, that's when they push out things that they want to talk about, right? I'm not saying she's doing that, but that is what a lot of TikTokers, Instagrammers, influencers, that is what they do in today's day and age. And I mean, like, it's a really sad situation. So
I also like, how can something be a publicity stunt if one subscribes to someone? It's like, well, that's like the product. Like, if you don't know what the product is, like, or you are like the product, right? There's that, like, have you heard that adage before?
what?
It's like, if you don't know what the product is
Then you're
in
the
something,
product.
if you're like, oh wow, like everything is like free and like I can just scroll, like, you are the product. Like, you are the thing,
Yeah.
right? So, but I'm like, if we subscribe to these feeds, like, we go on our own volition to go see her page and whatnot. We are actively spending our own time going to
Correct,
these people's
yeah.
pages. How can something be a stunt? Like, it's like,
Well, I think
we signed up.
in terms of TikTok specifically, once things are becoming more viral and more people are viewing it, it's going to show up more on people's dashboards.
Yeah.
It's going to show up more. That's just essentially how, like, the algorithm would work, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
This whole thing, I don't know necessarily what to believe in terms of Gabbie Hanna's specific case. But what I will say about it is very similar to what both of you were saying, actually. But Gabbie Hanna in particular gets a lot of online hate. She gets a lot. I've seen so many different YouTubers who've done profile videos on her, and they're always talking about Gabbie Hanna's toxic, how much they dislike her, or just really breaking down every single mistake that she might make. And in my mind, that's one thing. But then there's also them people going into her DMs and into her comment sections, just flooding it with, you suck, you should give. Like, I remember for this opening act competition that we were a part of, she was also in that competition, and people were like roasting her and saying that she doesn't deserve to be a part. You already have your millions of followers. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve that. And just like really kind of going in her comment section, because I was curious, like, what are they saying about her? And it was terrible. And I know what we've experienced with online hate and how much it has affected us, some of us more than others. Like, it almost had me quit RiVerse Reacts because of the things that people say are just so vile. And she has millions and millions of people who are watching her, and a lot of those people follow her just to hate on her. So after years of that, because she's been kind of at this level for years, could you imagine for years, every day, feeling like the world hates you? Like that's a lot on the psyche. So I could see how she could be having a breakdown right now after so many people every day are constantly telling you that you suck, that you're this, you're that, that you should, like, it's just, I could only imagine what she's going through. And what's interesting about it is that people will go and say all this stuff to her, and then when they start witnessing a mental breakdown, they're like, oh my God, you should seek help.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're so concerned about you. It's like, bitch, you're the one that contributed to her to this breakdown that you're witnessing, because every day you're telling her that how much she sucks and how much you hate her. But then you're like, oh my God, I'm worried about you. You're concerned, and it's just that's what we like to do as a public and as consumers.
It's so sad.
Is you like to build people up just to completely tear them down. And it really is sad and disheartening. And I do hope that if her situation is legitimate, Because, and you can't question it. I don't know, one of you guys, you said right now how people on...
people, I'm not saying me, I'm saying people in the comments have been saying...
No, and I'll give you an example. So one of you guys said something, but there was a gentleman on TikTok, and this is on another YouTuber's channel. His name is Jamari. And he profiled this TikToker who pretended that he had monkeypox.
Yeah,
I saw
that.
He had somebody put on fake monkeypox, and he was going out to McDonald's and to whatever, and just going through the drive-thru and eating food or whatever, and like being in his video saying like, you know what, I know that I'm supposed to be isolated at home, but I've been isolated for 2 years with COVID. I don't want to do this anymore. If I'm hungry, I'm gonna go out and eat. He said, choose yourself. And then people were in his comments like, what the hell are you doing? What are you? This is not smart. And he was promoting a single. At the end of these videos, he put his single called Choose. The single's called Choose You. And then after all the backlash that he got, he's like, I don't know why everybody's so angry. He then said it wasn't real. And he showed the video of them applying the fake monkeypox. He's like, this was all for me to promote my single called Choose You.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like the clout chasing. People will go so far, like especially for somebody who had monkeypox. And knowing how traumatic that situation was, for somebody to be using that as a joke to sell your single is fucking disgusting to me. And so I really do hope that this Gabbie Hanna thing is not a pretense, because like you were saying, people actually do have mental breakdowns like that, or have manic episodes. You cannot make fun of situations like that. So I really do hope, I'm hoping that she's actually sick, but I am hoping that this is not just something to sell her music. Yeah,
because just really quickly to go off of what you're saying, and the reason why people are saying that is because I think it was today or last night, she deleted all of her manic videos. And the only one that she just posted today was talking about her new album that's coming out. Okay. So that's why people are like questioning what's going on.
All this is fascinating. I'm like, even watching this and like listening to the conversation, I'm like, kind of to Zach's point, like I just find this whole culture of the internet, celebrity in general, like celebrity has always been a weird thing, but now everything being online and on social media apps and like everyone has access to it, like I don't know what the answer is, but like we need to find a way to like be able to not control, but like educate people more and be more mindful of how powerful this really fucking is. Because she put out hundreds of videos in the span of a couple days. Like
100 videos in one day.
To have that much access to the world, and like for anybody, I'm not an expert on bipolar disorder at all, so like don't take anything I say as like this is what it is, but for somebody to be having a manic episode and you're having these like delusions of grandeur, and you put out a video and then you get 1 million views, so you put out another video and you get 2 million views, so you put out another, it's gonna keep feeding that episode. Like and then at the end of it, if you have a crash and you have a depressive episode and you're seeing all the comments of people being like, what the fuck is wrong with you, and da-da-da-da-da, like all of it is just so scary. There's so much power there, and it's a scary thing. So I'm like, we need to be way more mindful of how we interact with it, and how we even like, I think both of you guys said like, somebody going into the comments just to be like, I hope you're okay, and like, I just wanted to see what was going on, and da-da-da, like all of it is still feeding into it in different ways. All of it is like, we need to step back. Everyone step the fuck back.
I think even like there's a video that she had that's I guess now deleted where she's yelling at the guy, the stranger, to get out of her house. And I'm just kind of like, if you picture yourself as a fly on the wall looking at that, she has her phone yelling at a guy to get out of her house, doing this, like, get out of my house, like you're filming
if
yourself.
There's a stranger in my house, I'm not like
but think about how weird that is. If it's real and you're angry that somebody's in your house and they pretend they know who you are, but you're filming yourself on TikTok, it's like the obsession with this culture of trying to be seen and fame and hunger for attention. It's very, very unhealthy. And I feel like the pandemic over the last 2 years, I feel it just put everybody in this like microscopic I don't know, everything just feels very much like
Tunnel
this.
vision.
Tunnel vision, like on TikTok and all these things, always everybody's just craving to be seen, to be heard. Like, look at me, because we're lacking something
Connection.
else fundamentally that we're not even thinking about.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just leading to people doing a lot of really crazy, unhealthy things. There have been so many people who have died on TikTok because they did some stupid challenges to try to be famous. And it's just like, how far are people willing to go for some clout? Like, or to sell your single, your album to be famous or to be seen? It's like really, really, really unhealthy. And it's such a scary time that we're living in, really, with social media.
Yeah.
I have 3 fast observations. The first was I really loved. I found it very interesting, the sentence that you mentioned. People would follow her just to like share hate in her comments, and I'm like, excuse me, people following just to like. I'm like, that's.
People do to us all the time.
I know, but like, what a waste of someone's energy.
Yeah,
that's all. The observation 1. Observation 2 was I find it interesting that there's always people assume connections between 2 things. Like they say, okay, whether it was a manic episode or not, but let's just say we took a position of that's a manic episode, and then she has a release for her music. I'm like, people have manic episodes and then their life continues. Continue. Like, but so quickly we associate the 2 as some through line of intention. And it's like, no. The 2 don't necessarily have to be like intersecting. You know, they just exist simultaneously.
Maybe that was her way of trying to feel better about it. Like, check out my music. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you never know. But my point being is, people are often think like they know what's going on. And it's like, y'all don't know what's going on in your own lives. You know? And the third, and I guess this is just a cap off of Khadijah's point, which is like both the pros and cons of this very digital world and everyone having access to these soapboxes that are so highly visible, is while it empowers anyone really to get up there and have something that can be heard and seen by everyone, and how impactful that can be, that has some positives. Obviously that also has some negatives, because it gives anyone the mic in their hand when everyone has that volume knob turned up in their homes all around the world, right? So in some ways it's like having people who have seen this before and are able to like recognize it, like essentially channels, like, you know, like more traditional ways that in the past. Anyways, my point being is there's pros and cons to it, and we don't know what the answer is, and I liked that too. Anyways, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, and we can sit here and talk forever. I feel like if you have thoughts, like maybe on Gabbie Hanna specifically, but just in general about social media and about celebrities and influencers and this like drive for connection and this drive for attention and all of these things, like we definitely want to hear. I think having these conversations more and hearing more perspectives will help everybody kind of continue building and figuring it all out. So please let us know in the comment section what your thoughts are. And we are wishing Gabbie Hanna all the best. Whatever the situation is, whatever happened, didn't happen, might happen tomorrow, we want her to be healthy and well, and we want everyone to be okay. I think that's enough. This is a lot, but I'm really glad that we're here, and I'm glad that we watched it, and I'm glad that we can have this conversation.
Definitely.
Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure that, like Justice said before, you go to LovelyTi's channel. We'll put the link in the description down below. She has a lot of really great commentary. Also, if you want to see more RiVerse, subscribe to our channel, and you can watch more reaction videos. We usually do a lot of music-based stuff, but every once in a while we'll do something like this as well. And remember, like, whoa, guys, regardless of how many views you have on your video, you are beautiful, worthy, valued, and loved. We'll see you guys next time.